Hello everyone, today we're working on a 2019 Kia Stinger. This has a V6 engine in it, an 8-speed automatic transmission. We're going to be doing a transmission fluid change. The fluid we'll be using will be the AMSOIL low viscosity ATF, and it meets and exceeds all the specs for this transmission. Here's a spec sheet on the AMSOIL synthetic ATF, the Signature Series. And first thing I want to show you here is there's two different ones here listed on this page. One is this red one is the older formulation multi-vehicle synthetic ATF, and then the blue bag here, this one right here, is it's a low viscosity fuel efficient synthetic ATF, and that's what most of your newer transmissions are going to call for. The thing about this chemically engineered synthetic is it reduces the operating temperature of your transmission by 20 to 50 degrees over petroleum-based fluids, and the life of the fluid is significantly longer as well. As you drop that temperature out of that transmission, all the soft parts inside last a whole lot longer. All the seals, all the piston seal rings. As you drop the heat by 20 to 50 degrees, the life of those soft components goes up significantly, and that extends your transmission life. And as an example, we have a taxi fleet, severe service taxi fleet field trial. This was in Las Vegas. What they did is they run the AMSOIL for 180,000 miles in the transmission, and they selected the transmission to tear apart and see how everything looked. And what you're seeing here is the synthetic AMSOIL, even after 180,000 miles, contained 83% of its original oxidation inhibitors. And you can see the valve body here looks absolutely beautiful. The clutches, again, they're clean, very little signs of wear on them. Very good condition. This is the kind of protection in the desert heat of Las Vegas that the AMSOIL provides. So one of the best ways to extend the life of your transmission is through the use of that AMSOIL Signature Series ATF. As we go down to this next sheet here, it gives you all the specifications, all the ASTM specifications here on the two products. The ATF is the older formulation. The ATL is the low viscosity right here. So as we go to the specifications, here's the applications for the older ATF, and this is just part of them. The rest of it's at the top of the other page. I'll show you that here. Right here is the remainder of the specs for that older ATF. And then right here is the specifications for the low viscosity ATF for most of the newer transmissions. So this gives you all the specifications for that fluid, and it shows you significantly how much better that performs than the regular fluids out there. If you want to extend the life of your automatic transmission, this chemically engineered synthetic Signature Series AMSOIL is the best way to do it. And the procedure for this, I'll have that linked in my video so you can have that full procedure. As far as checking the temperature, I'm going to be doing that off of the transmission itself. I'll use a thermal imaging camera. You can use a temp gun. Temp guns are fairly inexpensive. You can pick them up for usually under $50, and they're fairly accurate. And shoot the temp on that transmission. We want it between about 122, I believe it is, and 122 and 140 degrees Fahrenheit for checking the fluid level. You want the vehicle level as well, front to rear, so that you have an accurate level. There's no dipstick on this transmission. So there's a fill plug, not a fill plug, but a check plug in the bottom of that transmission, and then on the side of the transmission, on the driver's side, we'll show you that here in a little bit, there's a place to fill it as well. So the other thing is I've got a fluidcapacity.com website. Here's the home page for my fluidcapacity.com website, and there's two blue buttons here, one for auto and light truck fluid lookup guide, the other one's for power sports fluid lookup guides. We're going to click on the auto and light truck, and that will take you to this page, and we're looking up a 2019, and we hit this button here, build list, and we go down here to Kia, and we're going down to the Stinger, and the one we're working on has a 3.3 turbo engine, so we'll click that one. And over here it gives you all the fluids that AMSOIL recommends for each cavity, the engine, the automatic transmission. It's a 8-speed A8 TR1. Your differentials, front differential, and it goes down. It gives you any chassis lubrication points if there are any. And it gives you all the capacities down here of your engine, cooling system, transmission, and Total fill in this transmission looks to be just under 10 quarts, about 9.7 quarts. And it also gives you some of the torque specs down here as well. So if you go to the top of the page, you can print that off right here for each of your vehicles, so you don't have to pull your hair out trying to find it in your owner's manual. So that gives you all the information for the fluids and the fluid capacities for this vehicle. We're going to start with checking out the fluid level to see where it's at, and we'll be back with you. Okay, we got the vehicle running, and right now we're shooting the temperature on the side of that transmission on the aluminum case. We're at about 127, 130 degrees, which is in the range where we need to be able to check this transmission fluid. So before we start on it, we're going to check and see where the level's at. And what we have is there's no filter on this that can be changed. It's an internal filter. You'd have to split the case to be able to change it. Okay, so under here there's two plugs. One's a drain plug and one's a check plug. It's got a standpipe in it. That's a 10mm hex on there. And I gotta find my 10mm hex. Let's see what's there. Now on the side of the transmission, I don't know if you can see it right here, there's a plug here to be able to fill it. And that's a 10mm hex as well, right there on the side. We'll take that out here in a minute. When we go to check this fluid, we want to go through the gears and hold it in each gear for about 2 seconds and do that twice. So go ahead and climb in and run it through the gears. So we'll go into drive and we'll leave it there for a couple seconds. Then going back to park. Back to drive again. Then back to park. Okay. And then we'll take our check plug out right here. It's got a standpipe inside that transmission pan. We should have just a little fluid dribbling out at us. So what happens is as you start the transmission up, the fluid level drops. And that standpipe is up there probably about 1.5 to 2 inches up inside that transmission. So with the fluid circulating through the transmission, it should just be dribbling out like you see it right there. You can kind of see it dribbling. So that tells us we've got the fluid where we need it before we even start to drain it and do any of the service work. Okay. Go ahead and shut it off. Okay. So now we're going to take this other one out, and the best thing we can do here is change the fluid. We'll probably change this fluid twice because I don't have a really decent way to flush this transmission. Okay, I'm putting fluid in here where we fill it, and we took out right at 3 quarts, so that's what we're going to put in. And then we're going to start it up again. We'll probably do this a couple of times just to get the old fluid, as much of it out as we can. Again, I wish I could do a flush on it, but the way this is set up, it's not conducive to doing a flush. So we got about 2 quarts in right now, and I'm going to take it up to 3. Okay. Right there's 3 quarts. Okay, go ahead and start it up. Go ahead and run it through those gears again, a couple seconds in each one. I'm going to add just a little more fluid here while we're doing that. Right there, it's starting to run out good. The transmission's cooled off a little bit at this point, but like I say, we're just getting it circulated so we can drain it again. Okay, we'll let it run here for a little bit and then we'll shut it off. So again, the one that's closest to the passenger side is the one with the standpipe on it for checking the fluid level. The one more towards the center is the drain. So when we shut this off, I'm going to leave this plug out. You'll see the level will come up as the transmission shuts off because it's quitting circulating and running back to the pan. It'll start overflowing. Go ahead and shut it off. So what will happen is that fluid's going to run back into the transmission pan, and that's why it's overflowing this this tube, standpipe tube. And they're starting to slow down. So now we'll take out the drain plug and finish draining it out. And we'll refill it. We'll go through that procedure again. I'm going to do that until we get about the full fill of that transmission through here, which is just under 10 quarts. So each time we do it's going to be about 3 quarts. So we'll probably do it 3 times. And then on that third time will be the last. And then we'll recheck the level again. So take out that drain plug here. There we go. Okay, we're putting in our second set of 3 quarts here. Okay, there we go. Go ahead and start it up. Go ahead and go through the gears. Okay, put it back in park. Okay, go ahead and shut it off. Okay, that fluid there is looking pretty good. What we're going to do is this time we're going to fill it up, and then we're going to recheck it. Okay, we're putting this drain plug back in, and that's an 8mm Allen head. I think I said 10 earlier, but it's an 8mm. And both the drain plug and the check plug, they get 16 foot-pounds of torque. And then the plug up here on the side, that fill plug there, that's going to be 25, 26 foot-pounds of torque. So we'll tuck them down. There's that one. Okay, now I'm going to put the other one in until I get enough fluid in to start it. Otherwise it's going to run right back out again. And I'll just put it in so it just seals up in there. About right there. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and fill it up. I'm going to put in another 3 quarts. We're going to run it through the gears, and then we're going to heat it up until we hit about 130 degrees again on that transmission case up here. So that'll get us the right fluid temp, because what happens is as that fluid heats up, it expands. So again, there's a standpipe in there, and we want it just dribbling out of that standpipe at, you know, around 122 to 100, and I think it was 140 degrees. So right in that range. So we'll go ahead and fill it up, and then we'll run it through the gears and heat it up to temp and check it again. That'll be the final time. Okay, we're going through the gears. We'll check this fluid level here again. I'm going to add just a little bit in until it comes out. There, it's just coming out. Okay. We're going to run it through the gears here a little bit. I'm going to put that plug in for now. And we're going to let it run here and get it warmed up to that temp that we want there. Right around 130 is where I'm going to check it. There we go. And then we'll be back with you once we get up to temp. Okay, right here on the side of that tranny case, we're running about 132, 133 degrees. So we're at a good temp to check it. And we're going to run through those gears one more time. Go ahead and run through the gears again. Okay, leave it in park. Okay, so we run it through the gears, a couple seconds in each gear. See where we're at the fluid level here. Okay, that fluid's looking good right there. I'm going to leave it right there. Dribbling out just nice right there. You can see that fluid's a nice cherry red. Like I say, I wish I could do a flush on it, but unfortunately this is going to have to be the best way we can do it for this one right now. So we're going to torque that down again, 16 foot-pounds. We're going to put in that fill plug, and that gets 25, 26 foot-pounds of torque. And then that's it.
Thank you for watching my video. Be sure to check out my other videos and subscribe to my channel at youtube.com/c/Donswell. I'd like to introduce you to Amsoil Synthetic Lubricants. We have the most complete line of synthetic lubricants on the market that offer you greatly reduced wear, extended drain intervals, longer equipment life. You can check that out at my website, donsoil.com. I also have a website for looking up fluid capacity. It's fluidcapacity.com. You can go there and print off the capacity of your engine oil, cooling system, transmission, transfer case, differentials. Be sure to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Don Synthetic Lubes. Thank you and have a great day.